Hey Mofi, how are you?
I'm good. Are we
Good.
already online?
We are live. Yeah, that was
What?
that was
Look
my
at that.
my little
That
poke
was
to
a,
say.
yeah, that was a sneaky intro right there. I like it. I like it. Really good.
Yeah, and just to verify everything, it looks like all the sounds coming through. If you noticed, if you've been watching these streams on Thursdays with Kubernetes the Hard Way, hopefully you've noticed that I'm attempting to make the scenes look better because got to look a little bit more professional, as they tell me. But Mofi, how about you introduce yourself?
Well, my name is Mofi. I am known to do container stuff sometimes, but this is something was pretty interesting. Have not done it myself, but here, if I can help in any way, I think two-person Googling is better than one. That's why I'm here. We're gonna Google through, and we're gonna figure out how to get this thing working. Hopefully.
Awesome. And yes, hi.
Also, I see. Also, I see what you mean about the scenes looking better. I like that boxes and around our name. That's pretty nice.
Yeah, I'm working on it. And wait till I click over to the desktop view too. Like,
Oh
I
boy,
find
something's gonna happen.
I know. Um, but yes, and hi, I'm JJ. Hopefully, you've come across and either seen some of the streams previous, or maybe this is your first time watching us. Um, we are doing Kubernetes the hard way. If you don't know what that is a project from Kelsey Hightower where you bootstrap a Kubernetes cluster on 6 VMs from the ground up. Basically, you get a bunch of Ubuntu boxes and you install Kubernetes the hard way. Normally, this is on GCP or Google Compute Platform, Cloud Platform. Compute Cloud. I don't actually know. Um,
I
it's
think it's Google Cloud Platform.
Cloud Platform. Okay. Um, but we are doing it on the IBM Cloud on Gen 2 VPCs. And watch the previous videos if you want to kind of see what we've done. It is, I got to admit, it is quite impressive. And let's go ahead and start it off. I'm gonna start where I'm gonna talk about what we've done a little bit just so far to see where we are, and then I'm gonna talk about what we accomplished last week, and then and then I attempted to continue moving forward, hopefully to get the brain juices flowing again, and then Mofi, you can start asking the questions because it's typical debugging. We've got to figure out what's going on. Okay. That's enough preamble. Let's do some coding, shall we?
Let's do it.
Mm-hmm. There we go. I could have made your video a little bit better. Oh well, no big deal.
Fancy.
Yeah,
like it.
Yeah.
Although now we're taking actual screen real estate, so that's we gotta be mindful.
Yeah, I haven't quite figured out what I want to do there yet. I'm working on it.
Live and learn. I think we're not blocking anything super important right now, right? Like it's okay.
Yeah. So here are the 6 machines that we spun up 2 weeks ago now. We've got, if you've never seen this is Kelsey Hightower's, Kelsey Hightower's Kubernetes the hard way. And the docs that we went through the first time, we got up to bootstrapping etcd. A lot of the steps is building the different certs you need in the conversation and to be able to get that working. Then we went into bootstrapping the controllers, which is the actual control point. As you can see, controller 0, 1, 2. We have those exact same machines here, 0, 1, and 2, which is what we were hoping for. And then I was able to get what I believe was everything up and running. This challenge, we had some issues with where is it? It is the load balancer in front of it. So inside of VPCs, you can create a load balancer, which I will show here in a moment. Right here, load balancer. That the hiccup I got, and I understand that we're not going to fix this today, but I just kind of want to make sure that I at least, what's a good word for it, capture what we've gotten done so far. Assuming this ever, hello, computer, computer, why don't you like me? Well, I'll keep going. So there's this load balancer where if you look here, and this was the biggest stumbling block, is that the health check looks basically, at least from what I can tell from this load balancer here, is that it runs the health check not remotely from the load balancer onto the actual machine. Because if you see this local address here, this local address is something that is internal to into the network, I believe, or the machine specifically. So if you imagine this health check, it's not running from the load balancer to the machine. It's running from the machine to the machine, and then tells the load balancer that it's healthy. Isn't that kind of weird?
I mean, that host is the default service. So if you have any Kubernetes cluster, if you look at services on the default namespace, there is a Kubernetes service that's running in your Kubernetes cluster. So that's that host right there.
And if you take a look at the one that's actually checking here, and this is the actual Nginx check right there, the only way to get to this specific URL is if you are actually on the physical machine, because there's multiple different, they're all have the exact same cluster.local address. So
right.
So it's weird, right? Like that means you are locally like checking 127.0.0.1 on the machine by yourself, and then you talk to the load balancer outside to say, yes, I'm healthy, not the load balancer asking if you're healthy. Does that make sense?
Okay, another question. The VPC, is it on the 184 account?
No.
No. Okay, sorry. Yeah. Because I was checking if I could, but I don't see it because there is no load balancer, and I don't have access to that account.
Yeah. If you really need to, I'll get you some access here in a minute. But as you see here, I was able to figure out a way to get this to actually pass the health checks. But the crazy part is I did it the wrong way. I know I did. So if I edit this, as soon as it comes up, edit, no.
I guess to probably get the things first. So okay, when you say you did it the wrong way, what do you mean?
So first of all, if you noticed back here, it checks HTTPS, right? Because everything is with certs inside of inside of the machine. If I'll come back to this in a second. If I come back down to here, or so if I go to here and show you, here we go. If you look at this health path, it's not looking at health, right? It's looking at /. And that's what I mean by doing the wrong way, because I'm doing HTTP, and I can't do HTTPS because it asks for, wait, is it working now? Originally, it was asking for the certs, like where I'd have to put the cert into the machine. Wait a second. Already, Mofi, you might have already gotten me past a problem without even.
Yeah. So just like, this is what I do. I just show up and fix things. I don't know what is the problem and what's fixed, but we'll see.
Yeah.
I will take the win for now, and we'll come back to it. And
so while that's going, if I go back to over here and SSH into so let's verify. Let's see that this actually comes up correctly, right? So if I'm in this guy right here, admin.kubeconfig, right? There's our admin kubeconfig. So I should be able to take this, copy, paste. Oh wait, controller 0.
You have to be on this is one of the masters, right?
Yes. There we go.
Okay.
And we've got our scheduler, our controller are both healthy, and our etcd is up and running just as we expect. Then if we run our HTTP health check against it, again, that's HTTP, not HTTPS this time. Interesting.
Well, yeah.
We run our health check against, again, the host of local on that machine, and we get our 200 OK saying that everything is great. Just for consistency's sake, let's go ahead and
well, we're supposed to do that all three, so.
Yep. So on. What?
It's unknown.
It's on. I'm telling you.
It's telling you unknown command. I don't know what you want.
I can't. I'm blanking here. Give me a second.
It's fine, JJ. I am Tmux illiterate as well, so I basically every single Tmux command I ever ran was Googled.
Oh, it's set synchronize. Yeah, come on. Set synchronize panes on. There you go. Okay, so SSH controller, and then I'll do set synchronize panes off. This will be 0. This will be 1. This will be 2. Go back to that one. Synchronize on. Back here. So then if I go here, we should all have our admin kubeconfig. Yep. So if I take this command and run it on all three of them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Everything comes, like everybody knows about every etcd scheduler and the controller manager. All the health is good.
Sure.
And then we come back here and run the same check again on each of them, and everything comes back with a 200. So from what I see, and tell me if I'm crazy here.
You're crazy.
Thank you. Our controllers are in a healthy state. Yes?
Yeah. No, that again, okay. It would lead me to believe so.
Here we go. So now our load balancer is failing this check on everything.
Excellent.
Why is it going to port 80 though? That's not right.
Because that's what it was set.
Yeah.
If you're going HTTP, you're going to port 80.
Yeah. So this is 443 then?
Yeah. I'm still not convinced that that should work, because if you're trying to do HTTPS, where is your certificate to do 443?
Yeah, same here.
But okay, so I might be having another disconnect here. So our test that we did, that was not using this load balancer then.
Correct.
Because we're directly inside the machine. Okay. That
is correct. We were talking to itself, where there's no reason why wait, these all have private addresses. None of these have public addresses.
Yeah, because on VPC you have a floating IP at one of them, right?
That's
you don't have.
So the theory being is we can eventually add the floating IP to one of these and just skip the load balancer completely. until we figure out how to get that working, right? Yes.
Yeah. So if you could somehow figure out how, if the masters are load balancing on their own, you could technically just talk to one of them, and that will internally talk to the other two to decide whatever they need to do always, right? So
yeah. Okay. All right. So okay. So yeah. So again, just to make sure that I understand this, we can skip the load balancer because we could just talk directly with the controllers. Right now, we can't because there's not a floating IP, but we don't want the rest of the world to see this yet. We just want to connect to it locally, which is fine because we've tested it locally. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll skip along past the load balancer, and then, but one final test here, cat CA. CA.pem. Okay, here's the CA PEM right there. So if I grab...
So now we're going to hit the trouble because we don't have a public address for our thing. But is it accessible from within this VM? Oh, it is, yeah.
Yes, yeah. So my theory was curl --ca cert ca.pem, which is the PEM that we need to talk to it, https / that random IP internally.
You have extra
6.3 version. CA cart or CA cert, Mofi? And there we go. So the theory being here is we should be also go to 16, see that also, and then also 17 too.
Yeah, so ideally, if we just add a floating IP to any of them, this one, and we can then use the same CSR to talk to it directly as well, from my computer, from your computer, from the public computers of the world. So, just to clear this part up, can you scroll up a little bit? Let's look at the load balancer one more time, because again, this load balancer setup is not here. Sorry, I just meant on the documentation. Because this looks like a very Google Cloud specific thing to set up the load balancer. I'm just trying to see if there's anything here that it can lift. Because so what is it doing? It is doing public address. It's getting so it's getting the addresses for the Kubernetes the Hard Way. Probably there's a collection of full of things. You have compute HTTP health checks. You're creating a health check there on that IP. You're setting a firewall rule. Okay, it is creating a target pool. Okay. Yeah, so technically speaking, right? Another thing we could probably do if we don't want to set up if a load balancer is giving us trouble, we could set up another VM with just Nginx on it, which is going to load balance our request to 3 of the main controllers, right? Because the goal of the load balancer is so that when a request comes, it goes to one of the 3 masters, right?
Yeah.
Which Kubernetes automatically does as well. When a request comes to master, Kubernetes actually makes sure that one of them is a leader. Anyway, So if just a pure load balancer fails, we could also do it kind of hack our way to set up another VM that have a floating IP, and that has an Nginx proxy that just talks to one of the 3 controllers. So any request that comes, it just load balances one of 3. So we can just use a Nginx as a load balancer as well if we wanted, but we don't have to, but we could.
I'm thinking, and just talking to you through this, I put the CA cert where I was asking for the cert for this thing. But no, I don't do the local, right? No, that's not going to work.
Sorry, I didn't know what you meant.
So this is the SSL certificate right here. If I turn this to HTTPS, I need to inject one of these certificates, which I'm assuming is the CA cert in here.
This always confuses me because this is the same cert. You can change the format of it, and that sometimes becomes PAM, sometimes becomes something. So I don't know exactly which kind of file format you would need on this one. And yeah, but we can probably figure it out.
Because
but the point is the load balancer is not gonna break your Kubernetes cluster just yet. You can for the time being, because we're testing it from our Tmax. We can come back to it if that's what I'm trying to do. Like, let's move forward, and we can probably figure out, because the load balancer on VPC, I'm sure it is great and it works great, but none of us in the call, at least I'm assuming, has the expertise to understand what it's doing just yet. So I would rather, instead of trying to guess what it does, maybe we come back to it either from with some more manpower, or like just like asks around to figure out exactly what it is. Okay, so let's see what's happening here.
Okay, so first thing first, worker set panes off 0, 1, 2. Set panes on. Okay. So now we need to bootstrap the worker nodes. We installed some things. We should have turned off swap. Still there. There we go. Now it's off. I don't know why it was back on. It seems kind of weird. Then we created these directories.
So they're all there now?
var lib ls cube or cube. There we go. For instance, Kubernetes has a PEM inside of it. Kubelet. Good. Is that enough for you to say yes?
Yeah. I mean, again, you went through this stuff, and I believe you did. So let's.
Yep. And then we moved to user local bin. User local. I'm also, what's what I'm looking for? Spot checking myself here while I'm doing this too, right? LS cube. There we go. Looks like we got our cubes, including crit, whatever the hell that is.
I think CRI. It's a CRI-CTL, container runtime interface.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So you should also have you have the CNI stuff here too. Okay.
And there's our network. So the CNI networking. This is when I first start over. CNI networking is when I started actually having to think about IP addresses that are programmatically, as you can see here, right? This right here gets directly from the metadata internal Google service. We do not have this service on the IBM Cloud, or if we do, I don't know where it is.
No, we definitely have something API related there. That's how if the UI can show it, that means they're calling some API. It's just like you and I probably don't know the endpoint.
Okay, perfect. So I chose arbitrarily 10.200.1.0.16. It's private, right? Like this is all going to be private, locally running on the machine. So this seemed like it was far enough away not to step on anyone, right? Or do you think that could be already one problem there?
I mean, you are guessing an IP address. That is never a good sign.
Well, no, it's not even an IP address. It's a CIDR, right? So it's a whole range of IPs.
So, yeah. Now the question is, are they using it doesn't use what is it called, a network overlay at all? Is it everything from scratch like here too?
I believe so.
Geez, because I was gonna say let's just use Calico or Weave to bootstrap the network interface. Okay, cool. Never mind.
Well, this isn't called Kubernetes the easy way, Mofi.
I mean, okay. I mean, it's also not called Kubernetes I want to hate myself way,
there you go.
There has to be a middle ground. That's cool.
And then just for completion's sake, there is our loopback address on CNI netd. So that looks good. Then our container D configuration. Container D. fig toml. It should be the exact same on all. Yes. Everything looks overlay FS. And then everything runs with container D, which looks reasonable. Then we have our service. So if we do systemctl status container D. Container D is running on this machine, right?
Good.
So that's a win, right? Like we at least know we can run containers on these workers.
Right.
Then if we look at our kubelet here, we have this configuration file. Very good, Pyro. Very good. There we go. There's our
yeah.
So the pod cider here is, oh my goodness.
What up?
That pod cider is completely different from the one I chose earlier. You see that? 172.16. Yeah, because the one that I did here and the bridge
was yeah, it was different.
Yeah. Oh, it might actually have just been this Mofi. Or at least that's one thing that isn't consistent.
Yeah. Fix it. That's what you get for using Vim.
Yeah. Kubelet, config, right here, there. I don't know about this cluster DNS yet. That's a
okay.
different
Question: we're making the pod CI the same for all of them, right?
Yes. Yeah. Pod cider for everything the same.
Okay.
As you can see, the only difference is the worker private file right here, where it pulls in hostname, or in the cert file. Everything else is consistent. I really don't like having that DNS. So Pyro asked Mofi, "Are you an Emacs guy?"
This is my little day. I like burning bridges on both sides at the same time. I mean, given your name has Pyro in it, I know you know Pyro quite well, like burning the stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
I go into a room and immediately antagonize both sides of the group at the same time.
System CTL restart kubelet. So I'm going to go ahead and restart this kubelet service because
I got to click on the new stuff.
There we go. Nothing looks too bad. Everything's running. Nothing's jumping out of this. Good. Okay. Now this proxy, did I change this too?
Who knows?
No, that's the same cider. Okay.
That's good.
Okay, that's a win. Let's go ahead and do, just for consistency's sake, kube proxy. That's all running. So let's go ahead and restart it anyway. Just be on the safe side.
So,
shit, that's it.
Okay. So I'm just trying to remember one of these things, right? In the worker, it is communicating back with the master, letting them know they exist, right? Mm-hmm. Which one is it? My brain is completely blanking.
I have no idea.
So I think so. You have the kubelet. Kubelet is passing information back and forth. You have the kube proxy does the network stuff, and they have another one. God damn! I'm gonna look at my own documentation. Hold on. And the other day I forgot who it was, but I remembered the name. Scott Henselman. He tweeted the other day that saying like all these years I've been writing blog posts. It's not for you, it's for me. And I agree with that so much. Like, is that like most of my documentation ends up being useful for me in the very, very short term because I forget what I did like 8 days ago and I have to figure it out again.
Yep. So true. So true. So everything, all the different services are running. I'm feeling like this kubelet would be the thing that would talk back to the controllers.
Yeah. Kubelet is the one talking to the controller. I just want to know how does it know what the control, like where does it have the controller's information? That's what I'm.
It doesn't.
I'm not 100% sold on.
Yeah, it just doesn't. Like it has the CA to talk to it. It has the kube config.
Right, but it has to have the look at the kube. Let's look at the kube config. Kube config might have a URL or something. Because kube config usually have the master's URL.
Okay, hang on. So here is this kube config that is m for with kubelet. Well, it doesn't even say that here. Like, there's no configuration for that kube config, unless it's in the service, which it might be. Kubelet kube config.
Yes, it has the clusters, client certificate, name. Where's the right there server URL? Is that the right URL?
Not at all.
Oh, that's why there's your problem.
But wait, do I just point it to one specific worker then, or one?
So ideally, what you would do is point it to the load balancer, and the load balancer will point to any of the master. Because we don't have a load balancer set, let's point it to the controller 0.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So then var kubelet.
Also, if you want to just add a little bit of background, I found my slide deck that talks about each of the component, what they do.
Oh,
nice.
You
want me to quickly go over that?
Yeah, that'd be
great. So, all right, let me just take over the share for like 8 seconds.
It's fine. I'm gonna just do the hard way.
Yeah. Oh. Hard way. Pun is there pun intended there, JJ? Okay,
pretty much.
I'm sharing my screen now. You see node components. I have like pretty graphics here. So the things we have here, right? Number one thing, we have the container runtime. That's the container D. We have kubelet. I have kube proxy, right? So the kubelet's job is to node agent responsible for managing pod lifecycle on its host, and so kubelet itself doesn't necessarily talk to things. It gets the stuff sent from the master and understands how to use its container runtime to spin up the things Kubernetes asked for. And then you have the kube proxy that does the network rule. So again, as a request coming in, it understands, okay, I have 4 of my pods and I have many requests coming in. I need to send this request in the right place. So when you register yourself against something, you are basically, kubelet is basically just connecting itself with the Kubernetes master. That's why you can add more things or remove things without breaking Kubernetes, which is like a nice little thing. And a couple of other things we need here is the kube DNS that we also have, and that allows us to talk to each service like just talking to its like a DNS name. And we don't have Hipster, but most Kubernetes distribution have like a monitoring system that collects logs and metrics and other things. And finally, of the kube dashboard, we might end up deploying that, but it's another application that uses Kubernetes things to get information about Kubernetes and shows us as like a UI on like a website or browser. So yeah, that's basically all the node components, top view, just like so. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get back to JJ. Mofi, and I don't know if you. Yes.
One of these days we're going to be in the same city after this whole world comes back to some normalcy again, and I will give you a hug and buy you alcohol. Assuming you want some alcohol, if you whatever.
Yeah.
Because
it is working.
You got to work inside. Like that's I tip my hat to
you. Yeah, this is the best kind of getting things working when I don't even know what I did. So it's just good.
And yes, to Pyros, yes, that is not a question mark for victory. That is a straight up exclamation point. I genuinely didn't think it was going to be something so simple to change, but it makes sense, right? Like we were using the kubeconfig. We were pointing to a non-existent, or I believe that's actually an external IP that I was trying to put in front of the load balancer at one point, because that looked relatively familiar. But to Mofi's point, just changing it to cluster 0 or controller 0, and now our workers are coming in. For consistency's sake, though, I do want to check controller 1, assuming this shows up. Wait, it does. So now we know our controllers are sharing. Like, even though controller 1 is when we're sending all the information to, controller 0, we now know controller 1 knows about them too, so they're all sharing information.
And another fun little thing Kubernetes actually does, this Kubernetes master continuously is electing new leaders. So it's continuously actually, so by the time, so you set it to controller 0 and internally etcd is replicating all that information between them. And so in that sense, technically a load balancer is an overkill for Kubernetes because Kubernetes internally already load balances all the requests between masters and workers. But the reason you want load balancer is that when you have a lot of requests coming, you don't want to hit one of the controller too hard. So what happens is right now what you're doing is sending all the requests to controller 0. I think you're sending to controller 0, right? Yeah, sending all the requests to controller 0, and controller 0 is doing two jobs. It's being the master and also load balancing. Having a load balancer will save controller 0 from doing both a master and a load balancer. So which would be nicer, right? Which would be better because you can then send a request through a load balancer. One of the three masters take it. And as your cluster grows, you can add more masters and it will still be growing nicely.
Yep.
But if you keep in this configuration, what would happen is as you grow, your cluster grows, your controller 0 will be hit more and more and at some point might get overrun. So that's the reason we want a load balancer. So if we can't figure out the load balancer here this way, the other hack way would be just spin up another VPC VM, put Nginx on top, and load balance purely using Nginx, which would work just as fine.
And I have a feeling that might be a nice bonus if we're hitting the stride that we're already hitting now. I'm feeling pretty good. We could even get that done because that was the largest problem. Like now we have a communicating Kubernetes cluster. So if we just click on this next link here.
So you wanna spin up an Nginx pod per tradition? I don't know if you.
I might.
I thought that was a law to spin up a Nginx.
And there we go. So we got our components, and we got our worker nodes. So I'm not worried about doing that. So if this is true, hang on. If I come back over here and then do admin kubeconfig. So this needs to be 10. Oh shit! What was it?
Well, is this inside a controller?
No. This is a remote machine. I wanted to run this remotely from the Tmux box.
Oh yeah. That's you could. Yeah.
Just for
well, you want to open not here. Just go to the VPC infrastructure to find out the actual box. Virtual server instances.
Controller of 10, 240, 129, 140, 129, 6. So then I should be able to do kubectl get nodes config admin kube config. It's not config. What is it?
I think it's called just kube config.
Is it?
Isn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
There it is.
So now we have an admin user that can remotely talk to. So does that mean we can actually just run any arbitrary?
I mean, if you just set or you can pass it every single time. Yeah, you don't have any pods. So if you can say kubectl run something, right?
Well, hang on, because the next step here is provisioning pod network routes.
Okay.
So we need to. What the hell is this?
So this is the stuff that becomes extremely simple if you were to use some sort of like a network overlay with purely at this level. And so I know there is some documentation by Alex Ellis. I don't know if you have seen his work, but he has done some amazing work in the running Kubernetes in the Raspberry Pi situation. And about 2 years ago, I wrote this article finding, like, at the time the documentation wasn't all that clear, so I had to basically pull through multiple places, and I got Kubernetes working on Raspberry Pi, which was pretty cool. But then I think I used Weave or Flannel as my network overlay, which made life 100 times easier. But yeah, if you have to do this, completely networking is already way above my.
Well, all our networking is flat. Like, we don't have anything special about our networks in here.
We don't have anything special in networking. That's true.
So like, we shouldn't have to worry about any of this. If I got
let's just see what he's asking for us to do, because I mean, I'm gonna assume his networking stack is also flat here.
Yeah, it's just creating routes. That's all it is. So if your destination, wherever your next hop is. Right, so he's just creating default gateways from all the different machines when they need to talk to one another. So I don't actually think we have to do anything here specifically for what we're doing.
Because all our machines can directly talk to one another already. They're inside the same virtual network. I'm
pretty sure it does, because there's literally nothing he does here apart from the very top level of telling G Cloud to do something, when we don't have anything because we just talk to one another.
Yeah, because they're under the same virtual cloud.
Yeah, and the ACLs and security groups, I just stripped them away. Like, I didn't even bother with them. I'm like, no, just let everything through. I don't give a fuck. Which is how I got around a lot of problems.
I guess one way to test this would be if you spin up like some container and spin up multiple copies of it.
I think we're almost there. We need DNS first, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, core DNS. Core DNS is a...
Okay, so... so if we want to do this...
Can you set this config as the default config?
Yep, that's exactly what I was about to do. Export Q config equals that.
And so just try that cube. Just try that cube, or just run that command and see that happens. Okay. Done. It's not a pod. You have a service account and a service. Get the service. If the kubedns service is up and running, you're good. And I think core DNS got created in the kube system namespace.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think it's working. Mofi, I think it's working.
Well, I mean, let's see it work to say it's working. Well, that's what we just did. It's still container creating there, though. It takes a second. The core DNS needs to find all the network stuff.
That's fine.
But
Come on. Come on.
I don't like watching, like using the Kubernetes kubectls default watch. I just watch. That I find to be a little bit, I don't know.
I see where you're going.
There it is. You actually see time go up and whatnot.
Oh, but why is it stuck?
Well, we can hold on. Why? How would we see this is?
Because this only took 30 seconds.
It's fine. It's not a race. It's a marathon.
Yeah, it's not failing yet.
So, yeah, we can describe. We can see what's happening on this. That's not gonna work here in the wrong namespace.
Ah, damn it, you're right.
Oh, geez, okay. Fail create pod sandbox.
For subnet mask of 200.
Yeah, it's not. They're not speaking my language right now.
So the CIDR that we put in there is wrong. The number that I showed, the arbitrary 216 I chose is wrong. That's what it's saying. For a subnet mask of like 16 with the address of 10 to, is that a really subnet calculator? Did I really do something this dumb? Come on. 10 200 00 subnet mask of
What kind of calculator is this?
subnet mask calculator.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's not even letting us. Oh, it has the different classes. Way beyond. I don't know what's happening here.
My old Cisco networking is screaming in the back of my head. It's been so long since I've done this. 10 200 00.
Is that what we put?
Yeah, I did. So that's a legit address. Why didn't you like that? Failed to set up network for sandbox. Invalid range set 0.
Range set 0.
So is that that's the kubelet saying that, right?
I would assume so, because anything we run should run on the kubelet. No?
Yeah. Where is that error again? Failed to create sandbox RPC error. Google. Ensure that the etc CNI netd and its bin friend both exist and correctly populated. Then etc CNI netd. This is that 10 network. Do you see? Is that right? Is it supposed to be all the same network?
Hmm.
I think it's all supposed to be the same network. And I thought 0, 1, and 2. I think that could be it right there.
Let's look at it again. Because there are just like so many numbers.
Yeah, that's the problem. Look, check that out. It's supposed to be the same CIDR across the board.
Or we can just change everything to 0. They're all synced up anyway, right? We don't have to do anything.
Well,
just delete 0 and type 0.
Yeah, well, fine.
Messed up.
Yeah. Thanks, Pyros, for sticking around. These videos will be up on YouTube later if you want to see if we succeed or not. Okay, so.
Is there anything anywhere else we did that? No.
No, that's it, really. Restart kubelet. Now, is it smart enough to?
I mean, the address always stayed 0. It never showed any other address, right? So.
Oh, there we go. It did it.
Okay, but it failed on something else. Readiness probe. Improvement.
Yeah, so it was able to find itself. Now it's the readiness probe is the problem. Yeah.
Yeah, that's I mean,
503. The fuck does that mean?
you are asking where core DNS. Yeah, that's the one.
You can't route.
Should we look at the pod route stuff again, which that we glanced over a little bit?
Yeah, where was that? That was this one. Okay. Here, let me send you this link so you can look at it yourself too.
Yeah. Where are we? Here it is.
There you go. All right. So this is.
Just humor me and delete the core DNS one time and do it again. So you have a kubectl apply command happen.
Yep. I don't know why my control R isn't working. That's annoying me. History, graph, apply.
Yeah, 56531.
All right, and recreate it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops, I lost the chat.
well, let's look at the pods this time around.
Yeah, back to that.
Well, let's describe one of them now. They're both in the same structure. You have to say pod first.
Oh, I always forget that.
Also need to spell system with an S.
Yeah, 503, same networking problem.
Okay,
So if we can look at the logs though, because it's actually up and running, right?
yeah, well, service misbehaving. That's
That's not helpful. Oh, hold on, check this out. Get worker 1 trying to talk to it. Do we
we can see it here too. We can see the first one of them is talking to worker 1. If you look at the log for the other one, let's see which one is there talking to. I think we're gonna do the PKF91. That's the one we want to. We have 2 C's.
God damn it. My key bindings aren't what I like to use. This is really annoying. I thought I fixed this. Key logs, pod. This one. Cube, system.
Yeah, so the first one is talking to worker 1, second one is talking to worker 2. Like, it's not worst, but it's server misbehaving. Like, the fuck does that mean?
So can we just hack around this by vim etc hosts and just add them as things in here? Because if you saw, right, like if you saw this would never resolve because these machines don't know each other.
Wait, why wouldn't it?
Because there's no way, like, if I go to worker 1, ping worker 2, 1, 0. They don't know about each other. So if we add it to DNS, we'll be able to get to
like
it.
In etcd, like in etc hosts.
Yeah. I realize this is a hack and dirty, but I mean, I think that's where we are right now.
I mean, I guess what's happening is when Kelsey's setting up those rules, it's internally doing something similar there, right?
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
I mean, I am 98% sure we have similar APIs on VPC here as well, but we're just too plebs to know what magic command does that for us. Well, we should probably figure that out at some point, but.
Key part of that statement is at some point.
Some point, yeah. Man.
Oh, here we go. The route's right here.
Oh.
Let's just do that. Just was not an obvious place to look.
I mean, also, have you looked at the VPC CLI stuff on IBM Cloud? I am like 98% sure we have that. Like, whatever he's doing here, we should have all of this in under the IBM Cloud CLI.
Oh, I agree. Unfortunately, I'm able to figure out where's that a stone? Like it's just really hard because we're just a little bit different, enough to annoy me.
I mean, every single cloud is a little bit different, JJ. I don't know what you want.
All right, so. So if you're looking for 124, 1020, okay, so name of route, how's he doing this? Route to.
So we have a plugin for VPC infrastructure. I'm going to just install that plugin and see
Okay. 10
I'm gonna see if we
to
have.
destination cider of 10 200 0.0/24, and that is 0, which is, are those the controllers? No, those are the workers.
I'm
So
not looking at it
16,
yet.
so-
Hold on. What are you doing?
No, I'm just talking to myself. It's fine. It's fine.
Oh, okay, cool. So you do that. In the meantime, I'll
You
do a
do.
bit digging.
I might be recruiting you to turn these into Ansible playbooks on the line, by the way.
Ansible playbook is nice. I like Ansible playbook. Oh, it's one of them. I don't have to call it both.
0 is 240. 129.13. Right? I think that's right. So 0 goes to that 0 network. To the next hop of, that wasn't 12. 0 is 13. Okay. Copy this because I'll need that again. So then I create a new one of route 1 of cider 1. Yes. And 1 goes to 121. So that is this one. So that is 10, 129, 15. Copy. Paste. Save. And then I should be able to come over here and do route 2, 10, 200, 2024. And that should be 10 to 40, 129.14. History, grep, delete, 561. Why?
Is anything happening?
Don't think so. I think we made progress. We're not quite there yet.
So did you set up everything via CD there, or?
Huh?
Like, sorry, did you set up everything in the Etsy hosts, or did you set up the route on the thing?
I set up these routes thinking that would do it, but I think you're right. I think I need to set up the Etsy host now because it's still trying to
because
find.
they're still doing the name.
Yep. So
Let's do it.
10,
Set up like worker 0, worker 1, worker 2,
Yep.
all of them.
240,
29.
13.
Oh, is it 129 or just 29? It's 129.
It's 129.
Okay.
Pretty sure it's 129.
Yeah.
Oh,
I see it.
lost the chat. Where'd the chat go? There it goes. Worker 0, 10, 240.
It's okay. What? Get the one.
129.14.
14 is worker 2 or worker 1?
It's a good question. I think these have gotten out of whack. Worker 2, I think. And then worker 15, I think, is worker 1.
Well, let's just confirm, right? Like,
Yeah.
No need to guess any of this.
14 is worker 2. 15 is worker 1.
Okay.
15 is worker 1. Yep, there we go. So then if I go back over here and then delete everything again, and then
try to
reapply.
SSH into one of them. Oh, well, I'll do that too.
My bad.
I was going to say, no, it's fine. Just try to SSH into one of them and see if one of them can find the other one because they're looking at name.
Okay, or kubectl.
I mean, you can also use just. Oh, wait, you're SSHing into one of them? I was saying, just SSH into
ping worker. There you go.
Okay, they all can find worker 0, 1, 2. Okay, cool. Yep. Okay, let's kill that. We'll go back to this and let's try to do the describe on it or logs.
Kubectl.
I mean, it can just type in K. It should still.
I don't. It didn't seem like it was working that time. Is it log or logs?
Both logs. Work.
Really?
Yeah. It's misbehaving. So.
I am stumped. Curl. Oops. Ah. Where'd you go? There it is. Curl this.
So it couldn't get the cert.
Unauthorized. So it can find it. So is the CA cert? Hang on.
So the log is saying it's misbehaving. I don't know what misbehaving means.
CA cert.
I think it's one word, no dash.
Var lib Kubernetes CA PEM. Unauthorized. Damn. Okay. Thoughts, Mofi?
So on the instruction he had for the pod routing, was there any test to see if the pod routing was actually working? So on back. Yeah. Oh no, that's not actual test. That's just.
Yeah, it's just verifying that that's there.
Well, we do have the commands under our CLI if you wanted to try it out.
No, you want to hop in the TMUX session and just do it yourself instead of telling me?
Okay. Is it the same access?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so something is not right. I think the IP or something changed. It doesn't like it.
Should be just
ECDSA host key for Tmux has changed, and you have requested strict checking. Host key verification failed.
Oh
Did
yeah,
you
yeah.
change the?
I changed the machine, man. Yeah, of course the key changed.
Oh, okay.
I moved into a VPC.
Oh yeah, you told me that. Give me 1 sec. Let me delete the old one. And
We're so close, Mofi. I can taste it.
yeah.
Taste it.
Was my key copied into this? Okay, it was. Okay, cool. Am I in?
Do tmux attach dash session dash t. Actually, you should just do attach session. You should just right into it. Yep, there you go.
There it is. IBM Cloud. Yeah, I mean, I can type for anything. Plugin, repo, plugins. All right, the one we want is, which one do we want? This one.
Push
oh, you already have that.
You want push notifications installed?
Yes, of course. Every time my Kubernetes cluster works, I can send pushing to everyone. IBM Cloud, plugin, update. All of them. You already have VPC plugin actually installed. Which is
yeah,
nice.
I did. Oh, cool. And it's weird that part of it's cut off. I don't know why part of the screen's cut off. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I see that. Oh, well, I know why. Because my screen is humongous. No, that didn't help.
That's good.
Font is too small?
Just keep going. Don't worry about it.
Okay. All right. IBM Cloud, IS, VPCs. Oh, hold on. So, what range did you do it in? What zone? What location? Oh, we're logged into the wrong thing. Can you log into the right one? The one you're building the VPC stuff in?
Yeah, I'm having to think about it. Oh yeah, you're right. That'll work.
Did you log in yet?
Hang on.
All right, it did.
7.
I think. Yep.
There you go. Let's go, apps.
Okay. Damn, there's so many things. First one, right? This one. Yes, VPC routes. This is the so see if you wanted to see the route configuration and stuff, that's where you see it.
Shit. Nice.
Yeah. It's fine. It works pretty well. So we have the next top and everything set up. Again, I don't know network well enough to say whether or not that's supposed to be the right thing, but that's what we got. So they're part of the same network.
Yeah, that looks consistent.
These are all the commands you have under IBM Cloud IS. If you wanted, so you could. What other thing? I forgot how to scroll up on Teams.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, you do it. Good. I'm losing. Oh, you made it bigger. Okay, good. Okay, so yeah, so we were trying to do some other things here, right? So the rules, that's fine. We're looking at load balancer for one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it is here as well. There should be a load balancer thing.
Right here.
Here it is. There it is. Jeez, there's so many different ones. Yeah, load balancer. So it would be IBM. Just look for all the load balancers that we have. We can change the policy and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But the problem we're hitting, I am just a bit. I don't know where to start looking for a fix for this. That's what I'm.
So what we're seeing.
Server misbehaving. What does it mean?
Yeah, it doesn't mean anything. And when it's trying to connect to worker 2, it's trying to connect to a local host. No, that's not local. What the hell is that machine? 2753.
I think it's 53:53.
So 127.0.0.53 comes back with an IP, or comes back as something. Cool. But as soon as we try to curl against it, dig Google.com at 127.0.0.53.
What is the dig command about?
So I just told, dig basically is, so if I do dig against Google, right, pay attention to this server line.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. Dig goes out and asks for the IP response, right? It's how you get DNS entries back. Because I forced it with that @ sign of telling what host to go to. So if I do 8.8.8.8, now we go out to 8.8.8 to give us the IPs back. But if I force it to 127.0.0.53, which is a DNS entry, comes back with actual IPs. So it means we have working DNS. It's the readiness probe that's broken. So I'm actually thinking this is what I want to do. God, why does my Control R not work? History, grep, delete. Check this out. Let's try this. 56, 86. Then come here.
I know what you're doing.
Come on, Mofi. You know it's the right thing to do. Ready.
You mean I know it's not the right thing to do, but I'll do it anyway because fuck, this is annoying. That's not working.
So it's this
readiness probe fail, liveness probe. We didn't know what happened. So
yeah. So
let's just one at a time.
Yeah.
Let's just get to the readiness. Oh God. So now our stream just taken a sharp 180 turn from Kubernetes the hard way to Kubernetes the terrible way. Don't do it. Don't do it this way. So yeah.
Yeah. So if I do, come on, show me some love here. Why is this not working? apply core.
Ah, jeez. If we're gonna go back the entire.
Hey! Yay! Cube logs.
Okay. Can I get a F on the chat to pay respect for the engineer who wrote the readiness probe, and we just circumvented that.
Cube system.
Server still misbehaving. It started, but it still failed.
Damn it.
Pod, JJ. Pod.
Always forget it. I always forget it. All right. So. All right. Now, it still says it can't talk to itself. So if we go into.
Yeah, I mean, it's a DNS that can talk to itself. What can go wrong, JJ?
Yeah, right. Cube exec, cube cuddle, exec, core DNS, IT, bin, bash.
Also, again, you have to do the namespace.
Oh, God damn it. Cube system.
Look at the YAML again. Not YAML again. I don't think they have a command. They probably have an entry point that you have to override.
The hell?
You might have to go and look at the container image itself to see how they start.
I don't care about that. I don't care that enough. Also, we saw this problem coming back too.
Okay. Misbehaving?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's from the log. From the DNS right now, that means it's so I don't know why the DNS is even running, it's why it's not failing. But yeah.
Okay, well let's
maybe it failed by now. Can you check the pods again?
Nope.
No. Can you try to use the DNS for anything? Maybe that would make it fail. Like,
I don't know how.
I think there is an example for a busy box. So let's try running a busy box from the documentation from the Kubernetes the Hard Way. This is under default. Okay, let's try. Let's see. Let's follow on because that's the way we're checking that our DNS is doing the right thing, right? Yeah, so that's where the problem is, right? So we can't get the nice Kubernetes name like Kubernetes service local something.
Mm-hmm.
How to fix that? If again, BusyBox, is it built on Alpine? Does it have Bash or SH?
It's SH, but we can just do run Dora. Can't get into it. Yeah. Same problem. So close, Mofi. So close.
Yeah. Jeez.
Wait. What?
What's up?
We're giving it the wrong IP?
Is possible. Are we?
This should be supposed to be the 200 addresses, not these, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, no. These are all the
One.
same IPs. No, that's not right. Damn it. So worker 2 was working, but
Let's look at the Stack Overflow question a little bit more. Let's see if there's any other suggestions there that you can.
it's a qubit problem again. This is a DO specific thing, no?
That looks like a DigitalOcean thing, yeah. Go back, let's see other searches, maybe some GitHub issues somewhere. That looks like a command we have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, that's the Kubernetes the Hard Way. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Didn't we? Didn't we give it a DNS here? Cluster DNS?
We did. 32010.
I don't remember ever setting up 32010 to do anything. Do we want to just... I am at a loss. So it's a kubelet problem. Ooh. What is that? The hell is this?
No idea. What is supposed to resolve substitute again? I don't know what a name server is either. That's interesting. Oh, that is the name server 127.0.0.
Yeah. So it's looking 10:53. Oh, it's etcd. That's the thing. etcd is a DNS, right? That would make sense. Really? Yeah.
etcd why would etcd be a DNS? etcd just manages state.
I thought etcd also manages the DNS entries.
I mean, probably, but I don't know.
I'm thinking here, Mofi. There's got to be something like it's as it always is. It's always DNS, but
right. I mean, this time it's not even hidden. This literally is on the DNS.
Yeah.
Sometimes DNS is like a hidden problem that you have to figure out, but this time we knew it was.
It's just we're missing. All right. So what is paste? System D. So it's System D's DNS. Resolver. So you want to just install Resolve Conf here and not use System D?
Yeah. Again, like I'm punching way above my weight with the network stuff.
Yeah. Because I don't even know what those DNS servers are. See, because if I do ping worker 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Why didn't 3 work? Oh, because there's no 3.
Yeah, because it's 0, 1, 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they all can see each other.
We thought we found our magnum opus, but we didn't. It's failing on more mundane stuff.
What are we missing?
Yes, now we're I think we're getting to the right places now.
Cube exec, busybox. What? Oh, come on. Is there a translate?
I think, well, open it up in Chrome. Chrome automatically translates stuff. Also, Safari, I think, will start to translate things too. But that's the name. Is it not suggesting to translate yet? You can click on the thing, the lock sign. We can probably ask it to translate for you. Site settings. Geez. Translate, is there no translate on this?
No. Turn virtual reality on though.
Oh yeah.
That's helpful. Like this is legitimately the problem. If he says putting in Etsy hosts, Here we go. So I did this page.
Scroll up. And he's, I think, talking about the same, like, I think it's Kelsey's notes here as well. Oh, master. Okay, can you go to the master node, like the one of the controller, and see if it understands worker 1, 2, 3, 0, 1, 2?
Yeah, because we don't have them in the controller in the worker, do we?
We don't.
That would make sense, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's not there.
Let's just add them here and see what happens.
10. Oh, god damn it, what are their IPs?
I do it from Japan. Really came through on this.
You really did, didn't
10
it?
to 10, 240, 129, 13, 14, 15.
129.
129. 13 is 0. 14 is 2. And 15 is 1.
Okay. Go back here.
Delete the thing.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe this time just apply the original one instead of getting rid of the... Yeah, I can just delete that one. That's fine. It's the same. They delete by name, not by actual content.
Okay, grab pods. And
There's nothing.
System. Be sure it's not there.
Well, you can just describe it if you see it's the same problem or not. Could be. Who knows?
Nope.
Ah. Okay, that wasn't it, huh? Okay, let's look at the logs before we delete anything, because it could be a little bit different. Maybe, I don't know. And we'll also need to add the -n.
Wait.
Improvement.
We got something change here.
Still waiting on Kubernetes. What is
it's going to that 10.103 that IP.
That's the DNS IP that we added.
That doesn't go anywhere. See? There's nothing there.
But that is problem. Okay, what is the Kubernetes? Like still waiting on Kubernetes. Can you scroll up a little bit? Let's see what's... Okay, running configuration MD5 plugin loop to next plugin found, plugin ready, still waiting on Kubernetes, deflector, list and watch name. Go. I don't want to look at source code now.
No. I'm telling you, it's this thing, wherever we're pointing this to.
That is our cluster DNS. That's what we...
Is it?
Yeah, that's what we set manually as our cluster DNS.
Yeah, but I didn't actually set it anywhere. Like, I didn't put it in anything. So if I go here, it's just a generic IP that... What? No.
You looked at all of Kubernetes. Yeah, look at it this way.
Here we go. Right. Oh, it was this thing. No, it's this one. Certificate authority? Oh, okay. So 1032.01 is attached to the API. So I did actually do something with it. Just too far,
Right.
too
So
long ago.
that's what it's trying to. That's how it is trying to access information like API view on services. That's a Kubernetes API. That's making a Kubernetes API call.
Yeah, the Kubernetes API is timing out. That's what it's saying.
Right. Now the question is, even if you are, let's say, in the master, one of the work controller, can you hit this API endpoint?
So this whole thing, just get on this.
I mean, you do need to have access, but like you need to set up the CSR at first to be able to call. But if you're making a curl command against Kubernetes, but I'm just saying, can you talk to it at least? Like get the versions.
Oh, that was with, wasn't that this one, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
No, but that you did localhost. I'm just saying, can you do it with that IP?
Oh, the 1032.1.
Yeah, because that's what it's in essence trying to do there.
God damn it.
The reason I'm saying like a version, because that one is it's 32.0.1. Because version is a non-authenticated IP.
Got it.
I think just try 443. Don't do 6443. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. It'll time out too.
So do we just point 1032.01 to controller 0?
I'm not sure because controller 0, we were talking to 6443, not directly 443. I don't know if they're the same thing. Like they would talk to the same exact thing.
Nope.
Yeah. No, my concern is this 1032.0.1 is not actually going anywhere. Can you even ping this?
No, there's nothing there. Because there's nothing there.
Yeah, we might have to set another etc host rule to. I mean, again, there are a few steps that I didn't see, but I don't know exactly what 1032 is supposed to be.
And that was this thing that I just brought up. Hang on. It is. When I search for 10, where'd it go? This thing.
All right, so the core DNS has set cluster IP. Why does it have a set cluster IP? Anyway, that doesn't. I don't know if that matters or not. Core DNS has a set cluster IP. Cube DNS also has a. Have you said something like the CFSL stuff before already?
Yeah, this was like the fourth thing I did.
Cool. Boy.
So this is right here. The only time that we ever see this IP being used is in that.
So like it has the name Kubernetes. I don't know where. So basically, internally, it is resolved to the name Kubernetes. That's the log you get here, like waiting on Kubernetes. That is, so Kubernetes resolves to 10.32.01. Well, from your tmux, you're not gonna see that. It's a master sees that, right? So it didn't resolve anything either. No.
There's the IP. The API server setup is inside of that. So let's take a look. That's the system. D system. Q API service. 10.32. There it is. So I did not change that.
Right. I mean, I didn't think we would have to, but I'm just saying it is not finding anything anywhere. So that is.
Okay. Well, we're about to hit 2 hours. I'll call it for now. Still always got next week.
Yeah, it's. I don't know. It's. Yeah, the.
Well, how about
the issue?
Any chance you want to come back next week, Mofi?
Yeah, I mean, again, this is gonna bother me until this gets running. Either you figure it out or we work together to figure it out. Because until that is done, it will continue to bother me.
Yep. I mean, we're not far. We're not. It's DNS, and as soon as well, no, we got BusyBox and Fedora both running on our cluster, right? Like we saw the actual pods running.
Yeah, so it's running, but we just don't have the like. I feel like if next week if we don't get to the point where we can get it running, it might be worth start thinking about something like a network overlay, kind of like cheat that one part, make use of the things that actual production Kubernetes clusters use to kind of bootstrap our DNS stuff so that we have a proper network overlay that handles this kind of stuff that we're trying to manually do and failing at.
Well,
right.
Did you not see this? Like the DNS advon, then we just do the simple smoke test, and we're done.
Right. Once we figure out the DNS add-on, this is like in video game, one of those bosses that's just like everybody goes up to it and gets stuck. DNS is that boss.
Yep. And that's it, right? Like I mean, it is Kubernetes the hard way, and we are very, very close. Very close.
Right. Yeah.
So,
I mean, eventually, maybe we do another thing where we don't do Kubernetes the hard way per se, but we do Kubernetes that if you wanted to run Kubernetes manually yourself, what would you do? And the kind of struggle. Kubernetes hard way is almost like a learning tool, right? No one wants to do Kubernetes this way, to like do production work, and two, no one probably has the bandwidth to continuously update Kubernetes in this structure. But there is probably another approach where you're just installing Kubernetes. If you were to not the hard way, use tools that are available in the industry, but if you were trying to install and manage Kubernetes yourself, what could you do? We could come back probably to talk about that as well. Even that is pretty difficult. Even when you're using tools like kubeadmin and network overlays, it's still, you have to decide on a lot of different things that, I mean, that's where like having some cloud provider doing that for you becomes very useful, because you as a user just write your application to run somewhere, not necessarily Kubernetes version this or that. So yeah, it's unfortunate that we got stuck in this situation and the DNS, and I'm sure we're gonna figure it out, but until then it's gonna keep bothering me, and I'm gonna continuously get, yeah.
We'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Such is life, JJ. Such is life.
All right. Well, do you want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye.
And we will come back. We'll vindicate ourselves.